everybody? It's your boy Eddie here and welcome back to the channel, and I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. And for today's video, we are going to be reviewing a very limited sneaker that had a lot of controversy around its release date. But before we even continue this video, guys, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below as well as that notification bell. And if you are already subscribed to the channel, guys, definitely be sure to share with your friends and your family and all that, because again, your boy is currently at 6,900 subscribers and I do want to hit that 7K milestone, and I cannot do that without y'all help. So with that being out of the way, let's just get right into what y'all came here for, which is none other than the Nike Air Max 95 Big Bubble in its OG neon colorway. Guys, definitely let me know what you think about this sneaker in the comment section down below. Is it a cop or drop? I definitely want to know. For me, this definitely would be a cop if I was able to get it in my size. I got to give a huge shout out to my boy Mark. He was the one who actually hit this on the undefeated NYC EQL raffle. So again, bro, big shout out to you for giving me this pair for the review. But I do got to say, guys, the release method has been very weird about these. I heard that they were trying to make it a soft launch in which they would just release a limited amount of pairs in boutiques. Then they would do like the other stores such as JD Sports and all that type of stuff. And then we'll eventually get the sneakers released. And then I even heard that this is only a temporary release and there'll be a bigger release or wider style release in 2026. I can't confirm if that's true or not, but I do find that to be weird. I know it's that strategy of kind of giving the FOMO and making people want the sneaker more, but I do find it to be a really weird strategy overall. Honestly, with having them in hand right now, I do love the nubuck materials on the sneaker. It does feel really great to the touch, and overall, I do love the big bubble vibe. I'm not gonna lie though, when I saw the product pictures and all that type of stuff, I wasn't a fan of it. And then somebody put a product picture where it kind of looked like a lime green instead of a neon. And it looked really weird, but obviously after getting them in hand, this is 100% a neon color. And the big bubble actually looks really great. One thing that I do want to note to you guys is the fact that this isn't as true to the OG as they're marketing it to be. Yes, it is a big bubble, but it's not 100% true to form, if y'all get what I'm saying. And now when briefly speaking on true to form, I do want to go over the inspiration behind the OG Air Max 95. So initially, as you guys know, it's called the Air Max 95 because this Air Max was released in 1995. However, the biggest inspiration behind the shoe is due to the fact that it is inspired by the human anatomy. When we actually look at the lace tips right here, you can see that it actually is inspired by ribs, which is pretty interesting to note. Also, when you go to the outsole of the shoe, this outsole was actually inspired by our spine. Then when going onto these multiple layers right here, this was actually inspired by our muscle fibers, which is pretty interesting to note. And pretty much with that being said, guys, that's all of the inspiration behind this Air Max 95. So with this being out of the way, let's just get right into the box details. And I do have to say that I love the design of this box because it does have the neon color, the gray, the Air Max logo with that OG touch to it, where the R actually connects with the M, and I think that's a very nice touch. Then when going to this side of the box right here, we do have some details on the front of it, and it does read off as Air Max shoes represent the most important advances in Nike Air cushioning, larger volumes, greater efficiency, and more visibility in the heel and now the forefoot. Innovation has never been so clear. And then it does have some extra sentences, but I'm assuming it's just a translated statement of what I just said because it does seem to be in French. And then when moving on to the next side of the box, we do have a Nike Air logo right there. Then when going on to this side, we do have an Air Max detail right there. And then finally, we do have the sticker tag right there, as well as the undefeated retail sticker. And then when looking at the sticker details, it does read off as Nike Air Max 95 OG, and the colorway shown is black, neon yellow, and cool gray. And then when it comes to the sizing of the sneaker, I was not able to get my sizing, so I can't 100% confirm how I feel about the sizing of the sneaker. However, my boy Mark is a big Air Max dude, Air Max 95, and just big sneakerhead overall, and he's been doing this for a minute. And if I was to trust anybody's opinion, if it wasn't me, I would have to trust him. So what he did say was that he didn't agree with the true to size statement from Brendan Dunn on the Complex Sneaker podcast. Essentially, he went with his standard Air Max 95 sizing, which is a half size up. Normally, when I go with an Air Max 95, I tend to go a half size up. So my natural true to size is a size 8. But my boy recommended to go a half size up to an 8.5 if I was able to hit a pair. So that's pretty much the sizing info. I know Brendan Dunn stated that they changed some tooling, very similar to how they did with the Nike SB4, made it more comfortable and all that type of stuff. And he said true to size, but if my boy said to go a half size up, if I was to buy a pair right now, I would 100% go a half size up. That's gonna be my recommendation based on what my boy told me. I trust his opinion, and now with the future raffles or releases, I'm going to go with a half size up regardless. Y'all do with that information what y'all must, but that's just the sizing info that I got for y'all. So now, when opening this box detail right here, you can see that we pretty much have the standard all white wax tissue paper. It didn't go too crazy with the inside box details, but that's not a big deal for me. So now I'm focusing onto the details of this amazing sneaker. I do want to start with the upper of it, so which is standard to all Air Max 95s. We do have multiple overlays stitched on top of each other, and at the top it starts with a cool gray gray, and then it eventually gets darker and darker until it's more of like a charcoal gray. And then when focusing onto this toe box area, we do have more of that synthetic suede or nubuck material on this toe box. And this is definitely standard to the OG Air Max 95, especially in this neon colorway. Then when looking at these mesh details right here, this is in the toe box area as well, and it just wraps all the way to the top where you can see the eyelet details. So now when moving upwards towards the shoe, you can see that we do have these all white laces. It definitely doesn't come with no extra pair of laces, which is okay with me because I think the white laces go perfect with this neon Air Max 95. Then when looking at the tongue itself, we do have some soft mesh cushioning right there. But then on top of that, we do have this 3M lace lock detail right here, which is pretty nice. So when you flash a light on it, it definitely is going to make the shoe pop. Then when focusing onto the eyelets, you can see that we do have multiple neon details, which is very good. And again, makes the shoe very bright and pop a lot. Then on the top of the tongue now, we do have the classic Air Max 95 logo right there, where it does say Air, but the R connects with the M. And it's just a detail that I really enjoy. Then focusing onto the lateral side of the shoe, you can see that we do have those overlays as I mentioned before, but it is in that synthetic suede or nubuck material as I like to call it. Then when going towards the back of the shoe now, you can see that we do have this lime green Nike check detail, which I think is very nice, and once again definitely makes the shoe pop. Next, one of my favorite details is the back heel area of the Air Max 95, similar to how I love the Nike Air detail on the Air Jordan 4s. So as you can see, this is all in 3M, but at the top of it, it does have the Nike Air detail right there, and if you flash a light on it, it's gonna pop OD. Then moving on to the medial side of the shoe, the same thing pretty much follows suit as the lateral side, so there's nothing else to report on there. Now, in focusing onto the midsole of the sneaker, this is what all the hype is about, other than the fact that they did make this very limited for this year. As you can see right here on this back heel area, we do have a very big bubble in comparison to the 2020 release or the 2018 release. However, this still isn't as big as they could get to keep it to the OG form, which isn't a big deal for me. At first, I wasn't too crazy about the big bubble feature anyways on this specific Air Max 95. However, after getting it in hand, it does look really nice. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But of course, on this end, you could kind of see my hands go back and forth through the holes of these air bubbles right here. And then when going onto the outsole of the shoe now, we do have this spine traction pattern detail that was inspired by the human anatomy. However, something that differs between this pair in comparison to the previous retros is the fact that they did keep it OG with the PSI details. So you can see we have multiple PSI details as well as a Nike Air logo. However, I do love that they were able to add this feature. This is actually one of my wife's favorite sneakers of all time, so I'm definitely gonna try to get her a pair if she's still interested. We'll see what happens with that because these sneakers are so limited. But if not, we'll wait till next year where it's more available to the public. And then one more thing that I want to show you guys before we conclude this review is the insole itself. So as you can see, we do have this neon insole right here, which looks really nice. And right where your heel will sit, we do have that screen printed Nike Air Max logo, which is a pretty nice touch. And pretty much with that being said, guys, that's going to conclude the history as well as the details of the shoe. So now let's get right into this on for look, guys. So that's going to conclude the review as well as the on for look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Definitely let me know what you think about the Nike Air Max 95 OG Big Bubble in its neon colorway. Is it a cop or drop? Definitely for me, if I was able to obtain a pair, I would say that these are a cop, but for right now, I don't have them in my hand. But I want to hear what y'all think about the sneaker in the comment section down below. And other than that, y'all, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you're already subscribed to the channel, guys, definitely be sure to share with your friends and your family and all that, because again, your boy is currently at 6,900 subscribers, and I do want to hit that 7K milestone in the next week or so, and I can't do that without y'all help. But other than that, I'll catch y'all in the next video, y'all. Peace.